it's a delight this morning to welcome all of you to a special event. I want to extend a special greetings and welcome to Minister Jaczek, MP Tassi, and MP Hefner, who have joined us today on this very special occasion. Empowerment Squared runs on the power of people. We are a small organization founded 15 years ago, mainly by dint of the initiative of our indefatigable executive director, Leo Johnson. But we have tried to work within the community to serve community needs. And for the past 15 years, we've addressed some of the most pressing needs in our community, from school support programs for youths in our community, to technical education for newcomers. But the initiative we launched today, it's a unique and special one. It is one that comes out of an identified gap in our community, supporting Black entrepreneurs to really achieve some of the dreams that many of them have, to expand their business, to contribute to the community. And so this initiative really puts us in a unique position. We're doing stuff that we've traditionally not done, but we feel we're positioned to do well, given our track record of working in the community. I'm particularly delighted that we have been able to partner with colleagues and other groups that are doing great work in Windsor, and welcome my colleagues from Windsor here. And we see this initiative, though led by Empowerment Squared, as one that will ultimately build capacity for Black entrepreneurs throughout the region. And we look forward to continuing our work with the government, with other agencies, with other groups, to see that this initiative really lives up to its promise. I am going to continue now by welcoming to the podium MP Lisa Hefner, Member of Parliament for Hamilton. I have to say something about you first. So Lisa Hefner is an experienced journalist, an award-winning YWCA Hamilton Women of Distinction Award for Politics and Public Affairs in her advocacy of issues that enrich the lives of girls and women. Before entering politics, Lisa served as a veteran journalist with 20-plus years experience learning about and sharing the stories of Hamiltonians. Through her experience working with the communities in and around the riding, Lisa has listened to and learned what is most important to the residents of Hamilton Mountain. Lisa earned a degree in political science from the University of Calgary, a journalism degree in Ryerson University, and a master's degree in communications management from McMaster University. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome MP Hefner. Thank you.
I'm so glad I waited. That was lovely. Thank you, Bonnie. Before we go any further, I would just like to acknowledge that the city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mississaugas, the land covered by the Dish with One Spoon, Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. And so we want to thank them for their stewardship of this land. Good morning, everyone. This has been such an inspiring and wonderful morning already, learning from Leo about what they've been doing at 15 years of Empowerment Squared. We'll hear more about that later. I don't want to take words out of your mouth or paraphrase, but it's been really inspiring and lovely already, our tour here this morning. It's a pleasure to be here with my colleagues, the Honorable Minister Helena Jaczek and the Honorable Minister Philomena Tassi, and of course Dan Muse, MP for Flamborough-Glanbrook. We're so glad that you're here with us today as well this morning. MP Chad Collins had to send his regrets. His kids had COVID this morning, so he couldn't be here, but he's regretful. Nancy Gardner is the president of FedDev Ontario. I saw you earlier, but thank you for being here, Nancy, as well. And of course, Leo Nopolu Johnson, the Executive Director of Empowerment Squared and his senior leadership team, and Brian Schoen, the Executive Director of the Children's Aid Society of Hamilton. Now, I have been acquainted with Leo's work for many years through my work as a journalist and through my master's degree program, where he's a frequent speaker at McMaster University. As a youngster, Leo fled the war in his native Liberia and came to Canada as a refugee. 1 year after arriving and settling here in Hamilton, Leo founded Empowerment Squared to empower racialized and marginalized youth to succeed in school, in sports, to feel safe at school and in their communities, and most importantly, to have a voice and to be a catalyst for positive change. Leo's passion for his work is infectious, and we will also soon hear from Ashley Montague, whose spark was lit right here in Empowerment Squared programs. She's now the owner and founder of Black Owned, which supports Black-owned business owners. And I am certain that this funding, $1.9 million, am I letting the cat out of the bag, to support 275 Black entrepreneurs and Black-led businesses, that's just going to multiply in terms of benefits now that only to the businesses that benefit from it, not only the businesses that benefit from it, but the families they support, the kids who see what they can be, and the entire community. So I'd now like to welcome my friend, Minister Tassi, to the podium. Thanks.
Well, thanks, Lisa. And look at, this is an absolutely fantastic day. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us here today. I'm very happy to be joined by my colleagues who have been introduced already. Of course, Minister Jaczek, great to have you in the ambitious city. Lisa, thanks for the hosting and being the MC here today. And Dan, it's great that you're here. Fantastic. I think it's really important to acknowledge that in Hamilton, we have a Team Hamilton approach with respect to our elected members. We think that's very important to Hamiltonians. And I know that Matt Green wanted to be here. He may be showing up, I'm not sure. But Matt also has a special connection because he served on the original board of Empowerment Squared. So I know that this is also very important to him, and I want to acknowledge him and his work. And of course, MP Collins wanted to be here, but is unable to because of the family situation. So look, I am very excited about today's announcement. Hamilton is one of Canada's most diversified communities, and we have a fantastic community approach to supporting businesses. As a lifelong resident of Hamilton, I see this firsthand, and I can tell you the important role that Black entrepreneurs have in contributing in our economy. And I am continually impressed by the efforts of organizations like Empowerment Squared, who are providing much needed resources to help our communities succeed. Since its inception, Empowerment Squared has supported many newcomers, youth, and their families with academic mentoring, information literacy, leadership development, supervised access to sports and recreational opportunities after you finish the academic mentoring and training component. You can't get a key to the gym until you've done the academic work. And training opportunities for professional development and skills training in Hamilton and Windsor. And I know from many experiences with Leo Johnson and Mark John Stewart that the team is using their expertise and training to facilitate a stronger, more inclusive Canadian economy. This is an essential part of their support in Southern Ontario and communities within it. And look, folks, just to speak personally for a minute, this is a huge day for me. I have worked with Leo and Mark, and I have seen what they have with their team, who are here. I know many of their team are here, and it has been a team approach. But every step of the way, getting everything right, making sure that they are in touch with the community and the people that they are serving, and taking the time to ensure that those supports are going to be game changers. You only do that by working on the ground with the people, bringing justice to them, and doing it in a way that is respectful and leveling that playing field and being able to tap in to potential and bringing that potential to fruition. This announcement is a fantastic announcement for Hamilton and for Windsor. And I thank the folks from Windsor for making that trip today. I know although I know it was unimpeded, it's not an easy journey. It takes hours of travel, but it's really important that you're here today. And I know that you work as a group and as a community. And it is this approach, which is an approach that is thought out, methodical, but as was said in our tour, CAS, for example, isn't that Empowerment Squared isn't a tenant, they're a partner. And that's the difference. And to see this partnership and to see what happens when we can bring communities like this together. So without further delay, I'm sorry I went a little bit over there, but just for me, this is an emotional day because I've seen firsthand what an organization in Hamilton can become through the support and that is needed, but the success that has been all yours through the amazing way that you've walked this journey and developed Empowerment Squared to what it is today. So without further delay, I'm pleased to introduce my colleague, Helena Jaczek, Minister responsible for Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. I am delighted to have the honor to work with Minister Jaczek. I can tell you she is intelligent, she is hardworking, and she undertakes every task with professionalism and grace. She's passionate about promoting Southern Ontario as a home for innovative businesses and organizations to thrive. So please join me in welcoming Minister Jaczek to our ambitious city, the City of Hamilton.
Well, hello everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. It's just great to be here in the Hammer again. Some of you may know I was Ontario's Minister of Community and Social Services, and I've seen a number of friends here today, which is great. And to be joined by my colleagues, of course, from Ottawa, Lisa, Dan, and Phil. And thank you for that kind introduction, Minister Tassi. Merci, Ministre Tassi, pour cette aimable présentation. And I also would like to acknowledge that I'm joining you from the city of Hamilton, which is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon, Wampum, Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. I always find these land acknowledgements fascinating because every time I move to a new city to make an announcement, I learn a little bit more about our heritage. And actually I was a little early arriving here, and we visited Battlefield Park and the monument there. So every time I come, it's just such a wonderful opportunity to get a sense of the city. And having heard so much already from the speakers this morning and during the tour, I've learned so much about what this particular organization is doing and the kinds of partnerships that have come out of all the good work that Leo has been doing all through these years. And so I'm really pleased to be here today with Leo and his team at Empowerment Squared, an important not-for-profit in this region that is making a difference working with local communities to empower Black entrepreneurs, newcomer, racialized, and marginalized individuals. I had the opportunity to meet with Leo before the announcement this morning, and I really enjoyed learning more about the work that he and the team are doing here in Hamilton and in Windsor. And actually, I was recently in Windsor, and it's great to see an individual who I believe is going to be speaking a little bit later, again, assisting the community in Windsor to make the application for the grant that actually Lisa stole my thunder on already. However, we'll carry on. So, as Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario, I'm committed to inclusive economic growth and job creation in communities across the region. À titre de ministre responsable de l'Agence fédérale de développement économique pour le sud de l'Ontario, je m'engage à favoriser la croissance économique inclusive et la création d'emplois dans les collectivités de la région. From the beginning of the pandemic, our government has been delivering vital support to businesses, organizations, and communities to position the Canadian economy for a strong and resilient recovery. We understand that many Black entrepreneurs in our country continue to face barriers to success, including a lack of access to capital, resources, networks, and opportunities. And that is why the Government of Canada announced the Black Entrepreneurship Program, aimed at building an ecosystem of support for Black entrepreneurs across the country. In Southern Ontario, FedDev Ontario is delivering funding to more than 20 Black-led not-for-profit organizations that are providing tailored entrepreneurial programming for thousands of Black business owners. And that brings me to why we are here today. I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Ontario, the Government of Canada. 10 years in Ontario was obviously too long. I'm pleased to announce that the Government of Canada, through FedDev Ontario, is investing over $1.9 million in Empowerment Squared. Alors, it's good in French too. Je suis heureuse d'annoncer que le gouvernement du Canada, par l'intermédiaire de FedDev Ontario, investit plus de 1,9 million de dollars dans Empowerment Squared. With this funding, Empowerment Squared will create the Southwestern Ontario Black Business Network. This group of partners will provide Black entrepreneurs in the Hamilton and Windsor areas with advisory services, mentorship, entrepreneurial training, and networking opportunities to help them succeed. Through this project, Empowerment Squared will help more than 200 Black entrepreneurs and 75 Black-led businesses in gaining the skills and connections they need for success, while creating at least 80 new jobs. This will continue to build on the already great work Leo and the team are doing. Congratulations again. Ceci s'inscrit dans le prolongement de l'excellent travail que Leo et son équipe accomplissent déjà. Félicitations encore. I look forward to hearing about your continued success as you deliver this important programming across Southern Ontario. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Minister. I'm sorry for stealing your thunder a little bit there. The Minister and I have had some fun now that we're colleagues, comparing our perspectives back from when she was in the Government of Ontario and I was a journalist covering Queen's Park. So that's been fun. It's been great. And now it's time for the star of the hour, Leo Nopolu Johnson, Executive Director of Empowerment Squared. Thank you so much for all you have done for this community.
Thank you, everyone. It's very easy for everyone to say Leo is the star of the hour, but the real stars of the hour has been the team at Empowerment Square and our partners, and a lot of them are seated here. I see Trevor Jondu, who's also one of our board members, is also here. From our interns to our staff to our donors to our partners in the community, I want to thank you, because none of this would have happened if you were not here. I would like to invite WeTech, our lead partner, implementing partner, up. Yvonne, are you around? I'm here. Yeah, so I'm sharing my time. I will make sure our partners get the opportunity. Like you hear, they came from Windsor this morning. That's how committed WeTech Alliance have been to this initiative. So Yvonne.
Thank you, Leo. I kind of stretched myself. It was about a nice 3-hour drive. Good afternoon and bon après-midi. It is my pleasure today to join you in Hamilton, Ontario for today's announcement. As one of 17 regional innovation centers in the province of Ontario, we know the critical role that entrepreneurs play in our communities, our society, and our economy. We also know the best entrepreneurial ecosystems are those that are diverse, inclusive, connected, and collaborative. And we know, in Windsor especially, that there is a diversity gap in the supports that entrepreneurs in our region have. In fact, I share a comment made by a Black entrepreneur to a local media outlet recently that pertained to the regional diversity gaps within the business entrepreneurial ecosystem. We don't know who to contact. If we go online and search, we don't really find anything. We want them to find us and give us an idea how to get in touch with them. Comments like this is just one of the many reasons We Tech Alliance is excited to partner with Empowerment Squared and FedDev Ontario to strengthen, empower, and connect the next wave of Black-owned tech and non-tech entrepreneurs and companies in Windsor-Essex region and across Southern Ontario. We want them to find us because we need them to find us. We Tech Alliance will act as a project's lead implementing partner in the Windsor-Essex region, including delivering of services, matchmaking, mentorship, events, and also connecting them to the broad, already existing Black entrepreneurship ecosystem across the Southern Ontario, as well as in Windsor-Essex. But here's the key. We're not doing this alone. For the past year, We Tech Alliance has been working with a group of local entrepreneurs, professionals, and business leaders to help share, shape, advise, build trust, and make recommendations to support Black entrepreneurs and business owners in our region. It is because of these individuals that I and We Tech Alliance stand here today. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge their efforts, commitment, not only to the Black entrepreneurial ecosystem and the tech community, but for also setting their alarms at the crack of dawn to be with us today. I want to acknowledge Dr. Philip Ola, who's with us today, CEO and co-founder of Audacia Bioscience, Omalade Williams, founder of Blackcess, and Claudius Thomas, who you'll hear with shortly, the CEO of Tarako Web International. In closing, change can only happen if we work together and uplift aspiring and existing Black entrepreneurs in our communities. If we want to expand the economy and truly build back better, we need to invest in Black businesses. If you or someone you know is interested in mentoring, education, and training, please reach out to us. Si vous ou quelqu'un que vous connaissez souhaitez vous impliquer dans le mentorat et l'éducation, veuillez nous contacter. Si nous voulons développer l'économie et mieux reconstruire, nous devons investir dans les entreprises noires. I would now like to call Claudius Thomas, CEO of Tarako Web International Group and We Tech Alliance board member, up to the podium to share remarks on behalf of the Windsor-Essex Black Entrepreneur and Professional Program Advisory Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a tech company, so I'm going to do my speech from my phone. Don't deal with papers. Good morning, everyone. I have to thank everyone for this opportunity to speak with such esteemed guests. It's a privilege. Thank you, We Tech, for giving me this opportunity. I should start by actually giving a great thanks to certainly recognize the government of Canada for making this fund available to us. It's a great program to start with it being, pardon me, I'm having my fingers are going too fast in pushing where I want to be. I know what the words say. It's a great opportunity, it's a great place to start for us to actually have this funding available to the Black group. When the announcement was made for us to, when the Prime Minister made an announcement of this fund to be available to Black entrepreneurs, I, in particular, was excited. So I went about seeking, who are the other Black business owners in Windsor, and thought about searching. And we started finding, meeting every Wednesday. Group started to grow and grow. We meet every Wednesday, talking, and eventually we were able to then say, okay, there's some traction here, and do we want to then, we then reach a point where do we want to recreate the wheel? And we thought, no, let's actually bring organization that already is set up, that has an understanding, that has history. So we called on We Tech Alliance. After all, I am on the board, so I know what We Tech does. And spoke to Yvonne, and we decided, yeah, it'd be a good idea to actually use the template that exists so that we do not recreate any wheels, and we put ourselves in a stronger position of growth to be able to actually achieve what we want to achieve. So this is, and then with We Tech then connecting with Empowered Squared, it's put us in this position from which we can grow. So this is a great start. I'm extremely privileged. My colleagues, Omalade Williams, Dr. Philippola, and also he's not here, he's moved out of town, but we have to mention one of our brightest member of the group, Nyasha Kampuvuti. Even though he's outside of our region right now of Windsor, he's committed to actually stay on board as an advisor. As a young man of 25 years old, I dare anybody with 50, 60 years experience to beat him at anything. There's nothing he doesn't know. So we hold him there. We're not losing him for anything. So that I don't stay too long talking, some of the points I'd like to bring, however, is I want this to be, it's a small start for us, but it's extremely important. We're gracious, we're very thankful, but let this be a beginning point to say it gives us an opportunity that black businesses, black entrepreneurs, black thinkers, black innovators have a place where they can go and feel represented so that they can actually say, I have an idea. I want to start up my own business. Where do I start? And they can sit down with somebody that looks like themselves, somebody that can actually feel comfortable with, to be able to give them an advice and say, and they can trust to actually listen to without feeling let down, negative, being spoken to in any way. This has got to be part of where we're heading, because an essential part of where we're heading with this is culture. We have to include the cultural aspect of what we're going to build. A drive of culture so that we aim to get to the point where we're looking eventually further down the road, there's a branch of a bank, a financial institution, or a bank itself where I or resource can recommend a startup and say, this is available to you to actually become, to go and get what you need to help you grow. I believe Canada can do it. That's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm here as a Canadian. Let's do it. Thank you.
I would just quickly wrap this up by saying, when I show up on these shores about 16 years ago as an unaccompanied minor and government-sponsored refugee, I didn't think I was an entrepreneur to begin with, because I had a very narrow understanding of what that meant. But there was also a bit of confusion as to where you go as a young man. And I had ideas, I had thoughts, even though I didn't define it in this particular medium. But it was going to take some real committed people to believe in what those ideas were to get it to where it is today. And those people believed in it. And I like to put it this way, like Maya Angelou said, and this is my favorite quote, that you forget what someone said to you, you even forget what they did to you, but you will never forget how they made you feel. And I think that feeling that has been created that we could do this has inspired us to be where we are today. But even one step further, I would say to everyone as a community, the Black community, there are two sides to the challenges we face. One side is the fighting side. And I often like to say the other side is the building side. So we stand up, we fight against injustices and different kinds that we have to deal with. But I'm pleased that we can be partnering with the Canadian government to draw some energy to the building side, which I believe has been neglected for far too long. And today, as an organization, I'm glad we're here because what we've done, and I often say this down to my team, that there is absolutely nothing wrong with making profit in our sector. In fact, we should work hard to make profit because our profit serves the greater good by going back into the community and be reinvested into our community to ensure that we build to deal with over 400 years of deficits that has been created and that we are still dealing with today. And I will close by saying this to Black entrepreneurs, everybody, our partners around the table. I want to say the work has just begun with FedEv Ontario, with the Government of Canada, with all of you in our community. It's going to take some dedication. It's going to take some overcoming of different type of challenges for us to ensure that this seed will be the seed for making maximum profit to be reinvested into our community. Thank you, everybody. And to all of our ministers, thank you so much.
You're such an amazing leader, Leo. Thank you very much. And our next speaker is really a testament to your program. Ashley Montague is an amazing woman leader in this community as well. She started as a child in some of the Empowerment Square programs, and then along with her sisters went on to create Black Owned, which I believe started as an Instagram account just promoting Black businesses, and now is an actual business supporting those Black businesses. So without further ado, it's such a pleasure to introduce Ashley Montague.
Thank you so much, everyone. I am honored to be standing here amongst my colleagues in community to celebrate the announcements of the ecosystems funding for Empowerment Squared. As mentioned, my name is Ashley Montague, and I am one of the co-founders of Black Owned alongside Abigail and Alexandria Montague. Our organization was formed as we felt that at the time there was no direct services that amplified and showcased Black entrepreneurs west of the GTA in the Hamilton area. Together with folks in the community, we created an open source list of Black-owned businesses in the greater Hamilton area exceeding over 150 businesses. Over the last year, we had an opportunity to conduct a feasibility study where we heard directly from 105 businesses and then did a smaller focus group to understand the gaps that Black entrepreneurs are facing. Through that feasibility study, we learned Black entrepreneurs and Black business owners in the region are young, with 43.8% of those who answered our survey being between the ages of 30 to 45, followed by ages 17 to 29. We learned that while businesses are starting, only 30% of those who responded to our survey had an annual revenue of over $10,000. We learned that skills development and access to resources are crucial needs for our Black entrepreneurs. Lastly, 80% of business owners who answered wanted to leave a legacy behind for their family, which concludes a desire to have a sustainable business. As a response to those statistics, Black Owned was incorporated as a nonprofit organization to focus on research, advocacy, and education, supporting primarily Black youth entrepreneurs up to age 39. Our mission is to help more Black entrepreneurs create sustainable businesses. This year, we piloted a bootcamp program titled Trailblazer, where we worked with 10 entrepreneurs to grow their business, connecting them to mentors, knowledge, and a marketplace for growth. Today, as we gather here, it is imperative for us to realize the importance of Empowerment Square receiving this ecosystems fund. Where as a community, we can continue to build on the work that is needed to support Black entrepreneurs thrive in regions outside of the GTA. We look forward to working with Empowerment Squared and the community to build out the amazing ecosystems of entrepreneurs that will plant roots in this region and strengthen our communities. This ecosystems grant is a great start to creating bespoke programming and a business hub for Black entrepreneurs. As a Black entrepreneur, I can say I am excited for the potential of this funding and look forward to this continued productive relationship with the Canadian government and future supports, which will allow for sustainable growth and success in years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashley, and thank you to everyone for an amazing morning. I am so excited to see what grows from this funding. Thanks again. I'll now pass this over to FedDev Ontario and questions for the media.
Okay, we're going to start with media in person. Just a reminder for any media online to please have your name reflect your outlet and use the raise hand function to ask a question. So if any media who are in person here want to just step up to the microphone, there's one question, one follow-up. Yeah, okay. If you can just stay this microphone over here. That's okay. This one right here. You can come around. Yeah. So just state your name and outlet and who your question's for.
Sure. Just a little high.
Is that better? There we go.
Thank you. I would just like to know what the full specific amount of money Empowerment Squared is getting, and if that money is being paid through installments for anybody who can take it.
Yeah, you can go to the microphone, please.
So the direct funding from Fed of Ontario is about 1.9 million, in addition to in-kind and other contributions from our partners in the community. And that money flows in directly based on ongoing expenditures of the project. So we have a dedicated team at FedF that we work with almost on a daily basis in understanding the best way for the funds to be accessed so that we have the ability to execute the program.
Yeah, sure. And my second question was, what groups will be part of the Black Business Network?
So the Black Business Network is really going to be a collection of not just groups, but also individual entrepreneurs, because sometimes we forget that not everybody is in an association as an entrepreneur. So the network is going to be a mixture of beneficiaries and the program itself that will be going through training and supports in the cohorts, but it will also be businesses, established businesses and organizations of Black entrepreneurs across the region that will be working together to support each other, not just during the program, but after the initiative itself ends, because that's where the real work begins. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Yeah, sure. Just make sure you state your name and your outlet.
If it is not for me, then I will sit down. So maybe I should
It is
ask
for
them.
you,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
My name is Manisa. I'm from CHCH News. So I was wondering if you can break down how this money will be broken down and spent towards this support network.
So there are various parts of it. So the first part is training. We're going to be doing cohorts both in Hamilton and in Windsor, because what we've heard from Black entrepreneurs is that they often don't get access to a lot of the mainstream opportunities for training that exist. Another part is supporting them through direct services. And I will give a practical example. There are a lot of Black businesses that don't have access to the advertising market or have access to building the type of networks through websites or even financial services that allows businesses to build. So through this opportunity, we will be working with the right consultants, experts, and trainers to ensure that these businesses are well situated, not just through the training, but giving them the type of resources and ecosystem they need to bring those trainings to light. So all of those are being funded directly under the program itself in terms of outcomes.
So in terms for like how to reach out and how many people can actually access this program, is there a limit to how many people can access this program?
So directly, we're looking at 250 as the target beneficiaries. However, through our reach out already in the community, we have people from other cities like London and other places, entrepreneurs already reaching out to us. So with regard to that, through our partnerships, no, we are not limiting. There will also be additional people benefiting beyond the immediate target beneficiaries. And the goal is going to be to leverage this funding to its maximum effect, to also bring on board newer partners that could allow us to engage more entrepreneurs beyond the immediate target beneficiaries.
Thank you.
Are there any more? Yep.
Hi, my name is Ritika. I'm from the Hamilton Spectator. So 75 businesses were mentioned to be benefiting from this program. How many are from Hamilton, and how much will each of these businesses will be getting?
I will be well positioned to answer that question maybe the first 4 or 6 months in the program, because the way this works is we go out and recruit these businesses as it is. So trying to throw out a number right from the beginning before even the work starts might not be the best thing to do, but I can assure you that as we work along, we have already started engaging the communities to ensure that we have the recruitment across the region, and not just Hamilton and Windsor. Like I said, there will be other entrepreneurs from other regions as well. So we are happy to see where we go. We've put out the targeted number, but we are going to be doing the recruitment and giving you more accurate numbers as we conclude the recruitment stage of the 2 cohorts that we're looking at recruiting.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, it's Lisa Pileski from Global News Radio. This actually may be a question better for one of the government officials here.
I can sit down.
Yeah, I'll let you sit down. So this is obviously a great announcement here today. Maybe this is for the minister, but I'm just wondering what maybe the plan is in addition to this funding going forward. How long will this funding kind of be in place, and is there a plan if this program is really successful, like it seems like it will be there be more funding going forward?
In terms of the Black Entrepreneurship Program and the empowerment programs, FedDev as an organization watches really closely the results that we get. As you know, Leo has a great deal of experience, just as an example, and I have a feeling he's going to actually exceed some of his target numbers. So we at FedDev Ontario are constantly evaluating what works and what maybe is less successful. And so it's essentially an ongoing kind of analysis. There's a lot, as Leo has explained, basically there are proposals, there's discussion between FedDev and the organization that we're funding, and then expenses are paid by FedDev. So in other words, we're not just handing out money left, right, and center. We're totally focused on results. And a lot of what FedDev does with a lot of its programs is this kind of ongoing analysis to see what has worked, where we can scale up. This is kind of a really important, I mean, some businesses don't succeed. And this is where Leo has referred to mentorship, training, and so on. I was recently at another organization, and I specifically asked that question. They had a lot of business advisors, mentors at this other organization. And I said, do you just say point blank to some individuals, you know, that's never going to fly? That's useful information as well. And so we judge where we have been successful, and we continue investing going forward, depending on how much funding the Minister of Finance is able to give us each year.
So yeah, just as a follow-up, so we could see another announcement like this in maybe a year from now or 2 years from now. I just don't know how long it takes to gauge
exactly. There is ongoing analysis, and obviously budgets are set once a year. But we're fighting as FedDev and all the economic development agencies across Canada, obviously coming out of COVID, the need to restore economic prosperity is absolutely vital. Actually, we're just getting excellent results. I was recently talking to a regional tourist organization, and actually the demand has exceeded the supply this year for building up tourism. A lot of people are doing those staycations, and there's been a great deal of success with our funding from the Tourism Relief Fund, as an example. So you can be sure I'll be fighting for more and more.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to pass it over to any media who are available online, and Morgan will lead those online.
Okay, so we'll turn it over to our media that's joining via Zoom. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and just a reminder to please change your name to reflect your media outlet. Looks like there's a question from CEQ Windsor, Carrie Green. Just a reminder, there's one question and a follow-up question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. My question is for Leo. You mentioned you've already started engagement efforts. When do you anticipate that the network will be formally up and running, and how can entrepreneurs get involved?
Thank you. We expect the first cohort recruitment to begin as of September. So we've just been doing a lot of the background work. So the recruitment for the first cohort starts in September. And we will have the information available in several ways, through community engagement sessions in town halls, because not everybody sometimes accesses online, through our various platforms, so websites, social media, but also the platforms of our partners. So WeTech, for example, is our lead implementing partner, but we have a group of 7 to 10 additional partners across the community who will be participating in different ways. All of them will have the information also available, and just directly through our day-to-day engagement also in the community, something we've been well-rooted in doing in Hamilton. So all of those mediums will be deployed.
Thanks very much.
Okay, it looks like there are no further questions. So this concludes media availability. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.